You still have time to buy your Powerball tickets.
Tomorrow's jackpot is $1.5 billion. After more than 3 months of rollovers, a cash payout would be about half of that, minus taxes. And if no one wins tomorrow's drawing, the new Powerball jackpot will set an all-time lottery record. The last Powerball payout this big was split among 3 winners.
In the book For a Dollar and Dream, State Lotteries in Modern America, author Jonathan Cohen looks at the history of America's lottery obsession.
He joins us live ahead of this weekend's big Powerball drawing. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
I think I remember hearing when these lotteries started that, a certain percentage is going toward education. It's going to pay off our tollways so we won't have to pay tolls anymore. What happened to that?
So the lottery money does go to the intended purposes. It does feed into the general fund in Illinois. It does help education, but it's just not the driver of revenue that was originally imagined. It just does not create as much money as was promised, and as the state of Illinois continues to promise. As it promotes the lottery, oh, look at all the good it's doing for our kids. It is doing good, but not nearly the amount and the degree that it suggests. Meaning
they're not putting as much of a percentage into education or road repairs as they promised?
Exactly. It's the lottery is raising a lot of money. I believe at last I checked, it's $25 billion since its inception for the state. But if you look at that $25 billion in the relative to other forms of revenue for the state of Illinois, it's a pretty small percentage.
Tell us how you did your research. Is this all public information?
Much of it, I did some interviews with both lottery players and former lottery officials, and I spent a lovely week actually in Springfield at the state archives to investigate the history of the Illinois lottery. But I went to 17 different states, 30 different archives to find in public archives the history of the state lottery commissions and how they have become a $91 billion industry.
And talk about the effects on different communities with the lottery.
Yeah, it's pretty well known, I think, and the data bears this out, that the lottery is disproportionately played by lower income communities, non-white communities, and individuals with less education. And studies show that while 50% of Americans might buy a lottery ticket once a year, 1 in 8 play once a week, and those frequent players, again, are disproportionately non-white, disproportionately lower education, disproportionately poorer, and as much as 70 to 80% of total lottery sales come from that group, and these 20 to 30% of the heaviest lottery players.
So based on your research, is it your opinion that the state should just do away with the lottery altogether?
I think that way. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. There are certainly steps that states can take to make lotteries more equitable and to reduce the harm that they cause to people. One example would be on a week like this, the $1.5 billion Powerball jackpot. I think if states added a cap, a maximum prize, maybe it can't get above $1 billion, maybe it can't get above 500 million. These were very, very common until the 1990s. I think if states added small regulations like that, it could reduce the harm the lotteries do in a lot of communities.
All right. Well, again, the book is called For a Dollar and a Dream, State Lotteries in Modern America. It is now available. There is the cover, the information. Jonathan, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, and good luck to everyone tonight.
Thank you.